Well, hello everybody. I have made one of these videos before where I did a ranking of every single purchasable item in BitLife, the job packs and expansion packs. And since that video, there has been quite a few new ones that have dropped. So today we are going to be doing that once again. And first, we are starting with the expansion packs because the casino one just dropped. Also, do not forget to subscribe to my Patreon. There's a 30% off sale right now. So make sure you go join my Patreon, use code Friday30 and you will get 30% off. And with that being said, let's be honest and rank these BitLife expansion packs. I have created my own tier maker. I just went to tiermaker.com and made it myself. I searched through Twitter and found all of the promotion pictures and stuff. So there are 7 expansion packs at the moment in BitLife. There is the casino, cult, zoo. What is that one? Black market? Stock market, landlord, and secret agent. Okay, I totally fumbled that at first. And we are going to be ranking them. So the categories I made was, the first one is God mode. So, you know what I mean? Because there's God mode in BitLife. So basically it's God tier, legendary, God mode worthy. Then we have it's giving. I tried my best coming up with these. It's so hard when they're not picked for you. But I was like, it's just giving. Like, it's giving everything. That's pretty much the second tier. And then we have kind of the middle where it's like, I mean, it's okay. At least they tried. At least they tried their best, you know? And then we have, it wasn't awful, but And then finally we have the worst of the worst. Just this expansion pack is an NPC. It has NPC behavior. And if you don't know what an NPC is, Google it. The first one we will take a look at is, let's look at the zoo expansion pack. I don't want to be mean, but I think this has to be like, I don't know, man. I don't want to be mean. I think this is the worst one, honestly. It's kind of ironic we're starting with this one. So I'm going to put this as like NPC behavior. There's really not much you can do with this one. I think this could have been so overpowered if they really put in detail about a zoo. You know what I mean? They pretty much turned a job pack into a zoo, if that makes sense. The cool thing is that you can get some rare animals and stuff, but I know when this expansion pack came out, I was excited at first, but then when you actually use it, if you noticed, I pretty much, after the expansion pack dropped, never used it again because I realized, I was like, oh, once you've already collected the rare animals, it's kind of just like, there's nothing else really you can do. And the interactions with the animals aren't really that deep. There's not much you can really do as a zookeeper. You can't even make that much money. And like, it's just, it should have been a job pack, I feel like, because that was more worth it for it to be free for people that already had boss mode, if that makes sense. So I don't know. The zoo expansion pack, we're putting it at NPC behavior because I feel like it could have been so good. And I think a part of the reason why I rank it low is because it had so much potential and it kind of flopped. So that is number 1. So the next one I'm going to look at is the black market one. So this one, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm going to put at least they tried. I think it is a very mediocre expansion pack. I like filming these videos as well because months after these releases, you know what I mean? In the moment, it's so exciting. But then when months pass, you realize the ones that you've kept using and the ones that you haven't. And so it's very interesting for me to film these as well. So I can kind of talk about how I think I truly feel about these expansion packs months after, years after they've come out. So the black market one, I think it's very similar to the zoo one in the sense that it had so much potential of really getting down and dirty with the black market. Like, what do you think of with the black market? You think of things like the dark web, like illegal trading. You think of so many messed up things. I like that they touched on art and weapons and stuff, but there could have been like kidnapping, like ransom, like actually becoming the hitman that people hire. What was shocking to me is that it focused on having a museum, which was quite odd to me at the time. I wasn't too sure of that in the moment as well. And it didn't really focus too much on actual aspects of a black market, right? It more so was a museum expansion pack, if that makes sense. Yay, you could put animals you had in there, you could put items you had in there. It was a great way of making money, don't get me wrong, but I think at this point in BitLife, there's so many things that you can make a bunch of money in that now adding expansion packs and jobs that make you money are irrelevant. I think what people are craving more is realism, also fantasy, and attention to detail, something that they can distract themselves. Because ever since they added like the stock market and stuff, which we will get into when we go to the expansion pack, money now is almost irrelevant in the game. We need, if anything, more ways to spend money. I don't know, it's just, I think this one was good in the sense that there was museums, there was weapons, there was art thieves, there were jewels thieves. But that's not really what you think of when you think of the black market, if that makes sense. That's why it's like they tried, but did they? It was still a pretty good pack. Like there is attention to detail in some of these things, like the interactions with the art thieves and the jewelers and the wildlife and stuff like that. And I do like that they added auction houses and those things as well. So I do think that this was, I put this one way above the zoo because there were at least layers to it, if that makes sense. You could do a museum, but you could also just be an art thief. You could also collect different items you would get. And there was that whole, what is it called again? Let me check. It added the ability of getting artifacts, for example. So new goals of collecting things you could have. So kind of added a different element to the game. So that's why I put it at they tried their best. Kind of. It just didn't really hit that black market theme we were all kind of aching for with, like, when you think of the black market, you think of the dark web, you think about like websites, you think about kidnapping, you think about, I don't know, like it's just all of those things. You think like it would add an element more to the crime aspect of the game more, if that makes sense. You would think of like organ trading and stuff. I don't know. It just, that's why it's like, it's good. It is good. I do like it. And I have used it in my personal time. Maybe not for challenges so much anymore because there's not really much you can do. You can only do so many challenges with like owning a museum, right? The art ends up repeating itself. The jewels repeat itself very much. But I do use it on my personal playing time sometimes. So that, because I do like the attention to detail, I love using the auction houses personally. So I would put it here, and like at least they tried with having a lot of detail. And I really think that was like the first step into really having multiple things within an expansion pack, not just one. So that was it for the black market. I hoped it would be more, pretty much is where I'm gonna say with that. So next, which one should we talk about next? Cult, maybe. No, maybe secret. Yeah, actually, yeah, let's do cult. Let's do the cult. I'm gonna put cult here. I feel the same way about cult. It could have been so overpowered. I feel like back in the day, BitLife, with the free content, it was giving minimum. You know what I mean? But it was free. So when you turn these things into things that have to be paid, there has to be an attention to detail. There has to be things that truly change the way the gameplay exists in the game. Because at the end of the day, it is a text app. But hey, I hate when people say that it's only a text app. It shouldn't have downloadable content. It's like, no. If I love this game and I want really messed up, out there, new, fresh things to come in that cost a lot of money, I'm down to pay for it. Don't get me wrong. So it's like, I don't agree that all businesses should supply things for free. It's supply and demand, guys. It's the most simple thing of business. I'm literally studying business right now, and I'm taking economics, and so I totally understand the need to have to make more money and take into account of certain things. But I think that when you have an audience that is showing that side of demand of, listen, we love your stuff, but for the money it needs to be a bit more oomph. A bit more oomph. So the cult, they were on the right tracks, but it felt like job pack level detail. Like the range of detail should be free as minimum. Job packs are even more because it's just a job. It's not supposed to change the entirety of the game. But when it's an expansion pack, it is literal term expansion. It is supposed to expand things beyond what the game is supposed to be. You're supposed to have the game be playable without it, but then with it, it's like, whoa. So the cult was good. I really loved the idea. I loved the interacting with people. I like that you can recruit people from your family to it. I like that you could get like facial tattoos and have common themes. But again, I just think that after you take away all the interactions with the people in the game, like within your BitLife family and stuff, and like the actual communards and stuff, I just think it could have been so much more like messed up. And it doesn't have to be like messed up, but when you add things like black market and cults, there's certain things that people are expecting. Like you should be able to tell your followers to like execute someone, you know what I mean? Instead of you being the person to do it, it should kind of be like a mafia type thing. I liked the fact that you could go travel the world and try and recruit people. I liked that you could pick different themes. I liked that you could recruit family members. I liked that there was the ability to upgrade from a small cult to a medium one to a large one. I liked that it brought a bunch of money. So I did like it. I just think it was about 1/3 of what it should have been. And when I'm ranking these, we're also talking about this as in, what is it worth the money? Pretty much you can say NPC behavior is not, is not. At least they tried. I guess depending on your personal preference, could be. It's Giving is like, yeah, I would say so. And God mode, I'd say 100%. So that's kind of where I'm putting these as well. Because if I put It's Giving cult, it's interesting. It's like, okay, but is that worth $7 Canadian or $5 US? So that's kind of where I'm going with these as well, of what I think after being an original player of like 5 years. And so many of you guys that watch my videos are people that have been playing this game for like 5 years. And that's why you guys are here, because we talk about these things. We know what it was like being a player when everything was free. We know what it was like being a player when job packs got introduced, when expansion packs got introduced. And we've seen the shift in like the content and stuff, but we do all like this game still, and we still want to play it. And so this is me just kind of, if there are any new players out there that are unsure of what to get, because a lot of the times you kind of have to buy something and then you figure out what's involved in it. You don't actually get to see it first. So that's kind of why I always make really detailed like update videos and stuff, and even these ranking videos, because not everybody knows what to expect, and sometimes you have to take the L and pay first. But in this way, you kind of get an opinion from me. People in the comments as well will tell you what their ranking is, I hope. And then you can watch like update videos where I actually go through the expansion pack, and then you can actually see if it's actually worth the money. Because at the end of the day, it's your own money. You do whatever you want with it. Nobody can tell you what to buy and what not to buy, right? So yeah, cult, again, I feel like it could have been really, really good, but it wasn't. But personally, I enjoyed it. I think they tried a lot more than they did with the zoo, personally. But I will put Black Market above Cult. That's why Cult is after. And yeah. And again, like I mentioned, I would love to know what you guys would rank these as well. Like in the comments, I want you to put God mode, put the ones you'd put in God mode. It's Giving. Put the ones you put in It's Giving. At least they tried, because I'd love to hear what you guys think. Okay, what should we do next? I think I'm leaving Casino for last because that's the most recent one. Let's see. Let's do Landlord. Landlord, I'm gonna put as It's Giving. It's one of my personal favorite ones, but objectively speaking, I wouldn't say it's God mode level, because it's very minimal detail. But I think it added a total new element to the game that had never been done before. Like before in BitLife, when you would try to invest money and try to make money off housing, it was only you were able to buy houses and just have them appreciate over time. And you really couldn't interact with the houses. It was kind of just you bought a house and that was it. And there was really not much else you could do. And you could probably go back on my channel and see old house flipping videos where the first time I ever became a billionaire was from way before we had any of these expansion packs, where I was just buying houses and having them appreciate, passing it down to the kids and it going through generations, right? And so, yeah, I love it because I love challenges in BitLife and I love the tenant interactions. I love that you could buy a house, have it appreciate, and charge rent. It's disgusting. It makes you so much money. And I don't know. I love that, like, you can charge the amount of rent you want and you can charge up to 10 million a month, and then you can pick the amenities, like it's beside a cemetery, you're not allowed pets, 3 months deposit please. You can do random drop-in check-ins on your tenants. You can sue them for damages. I like it because of the aspect of realism it added to the game. Black market isn't real for your everyday life. Cult isn't real for your everyday life. The zoo isn't real for your everyday life. But landlord, so many people rent. So many people have to deal with shitty tenants and shitty landlords. So you can decide to be a shitty landlord or tenant. You can choose to evict all your tenants and sue them for all their damages, or be a really good one and charge affordable rent. Allow pets, don't allow pets. So that's what I mean when BitLife has to find like this nice balance of crazy shit and adding realism. So if you are just adding something that really, really adds realism to the game, that can make it fun. But if you are claiming to do something out there like black market and cult, you gotta own it or else it's not gonna work out. And I think that's what we saw with why I would rank landlord above black market and cult. You would think black market and cult is so interesting. How could you not rank it higher? Because if you're going to claim to do something like that, you got to do it. You got to commit to the bit. Landlord didn't claim to be anything other than it said it would. You are a landlord. You're going to have tenants that bug you, tenants that are trying to invite you to barbecues, and you're just like, bro, leave me alone. You can flirt with your tenants. You can marry them. Like, it's just, it added such a sense of realism that personally makes me love it. Because like I said, money is almost so easy to come by in BitLife that it's refreshing to have a sense of realism in the game. Like being a landlord, like having tenants. I feel like what would have brought landlord to God mode here would be if they allowed you to be a tenant. If they added it to the housing market where instead of buying a house or getting a mortgage, it allowed you to be a tenant, and then you had to deal with a shitty landlord, and you had the choice of being a good or bad tenant, of am I gonna pay my rent on time? I think that would have brought it to God mode, but because it didn't and it was only landlord, I'm gonna keep it at giving. So next, we only have 3 left. Oh my God. Okay. Next, let's do the stock market update. Stock market update, I'm going to say is God mode. Oops. Stock market update, I'm going to put at God mode. Not necessarily because it is my favorite thing on earth. Simply because it completely changed the entire dynamics of the game. When you use the investor update, it broke the game. You could become a zillionaire. I had seen this switch of having to take multiple generations through buying houses and having to pass it down just to become a billionaire. Do you know how easy it is in BitLife to become a billionaire now? And the fact that they added crypto? Like, it's like, now you can become a zillionaire in one life. When the most popular video on my channel is me trying to become a trillionaire with just flipping houses, I think. Let me double check that. Is it billionaire or trillionaire? That was traumatic having to do that. That took me so long. That's like all my baby challenges before they added the golden pacifier. Let me know. I want to do another video ranking the job hacks next. That'll be next because there were more job hacks since the last video I did. And then we'll also do the BitLife items if you want in like an official tier maker. Yep, my most popular video is how I became a billionaire in BitLife 4 years ago. It is at 986,000 views because at the time, becoming a billionaire was so foreign. I think because it completely changed the dynamics of the game. It took being able to flip stuff insane. The only way you used to be able to do flipping challenges was starting off with $10, buying a ring, a fake ring for $10. You guys know those OG challenges when you would have to buy a fake piece of jewelry, flip it long enough to get more expensive necklaces and stuff. And like that was the only black market we had at the time. And then you finally flipped enough to get a house. And then you had to have the houses appreciate. And that was the way you could do flipping. Now, you take that $10, you turn it into a zillion in like one life with the stock market. And I feel like most of us use crypto to make a disgusting amount of money with the investor expansion. But I think a lot of people underappreciate the amount of detail that actually went into the stock market update, because crypto is only like 5% of what the investor update actually was. They have real stocks in there, real things that have charts and those red and green numbers with arrows and stuff. So that is why I will put the stock market at God mode, because it simply changed the game forever. And it's what made people stop caring about job packs and expansion packs that make them a lot of money, and more so, let's make more mini games, let's have more realism, let's have more detail, like change my life with these expansion packs, please. Because now it's so easy to make money, it changed everything. So is it my favorite one? No, but do I find I use it in almost like every video sometimes? Yeah. Do I find I have completely changed the way I play the game because of it? Yeah. So I would say it's God mode tier. So next we are going to do the secret agent one. So personally, I have to say I really, really do like the secret agent expansion pack. The only reason why I'm going to put it here, okay, I'm going to put it as just below Landlord, because it no way in hell compares to Landlord, simply because it should have been a job pack. It should have been not that you are running an agency, but that you should become a spy. And it kind of was this weird mix of both, where you were in charge of like other spies, right? And you were kind of in charge of the agency, but you couldn't really go out and do the missions yourself, but yet you were still the one like picking the answers for it. And it was kind of this like gray area where it's like, listen, is this a job or is this a business owner? Because essentially buying a spy agency is like the business job pack. You're just buying a business in a way. But I really like it with like the interactive questions, when there was like a countdown timer for it, and like it was ones you actually had to think, and there were riddles and missions and stuff that you could fail and your actual life was in danger. I like that there were like different spy gadgets you could use and levels to it that you would bring to your missions with you, and the code names, and that you could actually go and recruit agents, you could infiltrate other people's agencies. But again, it just could have been so much more. It's like when you are claiming to be this big thing, okay? You gotta own it, I think. And I think now with watching this, I think I have to put Cult under after going through all these, and with Casino being the last one I'm gonna do. Because really, Black Market at least really did try. Secret Agent, they really did try. Cult, I really think they could have done a lot better with like, I don't know. I think now looking at this, I have to move this down here. But yeah, so with Secret Agent, I really, really liked the whole top secret that you could infiltrate other people. Gadgets were involved instead of like weapons. But after you had kind of developed your prestige to be like really good, and you were only allowed ever like a couple security slots and stuff. I wish you could then actually go do missions, and like there was like, I don't know how how to describe it. I just think it could have been so much deeper. Like, I desperately wanted to be James Bond, not be the business owner of James Bond's company, but I could still live in the fantasy that even though I was the company owner, I was still James Bond. Like, I wish there were interactions with like the freaking queen. Like, I don't know. I think there should have been like more people trying to discover that you were a spy. I really did like, though, that you were able to spy on your family members. I think that was a really, really cool feature they added. I like that, like, for the headquarters, they actually chose, like, things like laundromats and art galleries and pubs and stuff to make it realistic. How, like, there's always that conspiracy that mattress stores are actually for the mafia and spy agencies and stuff. So I think the reason why these three are here is because of that claim to be something that it wasn't. But the reason why these two are not down here with these is because they did try, and it is detail. It is fun when you use it. Cult gets old very fast, and Zoo I just really don't think is the best, honestly. So that brings me to our final and most recent expansion pack, one that I actually have kind of become obsessed with, and I'm having so much fun with it. I'm not going to lie. Maybe my mind will change in 6 months if another one comes out. Personally, I have it right in between here with God mode and It's Giving. But I think the best place to put it, because it didn't change the whole aspect of the game and the way it's played, I'm going to put it at the top of It's Giving because I'm having so much fun with it. I love all the mini games they added. I love that there's 8 now gambling games besides blackjack. And I think simply if you just like Texas Hold'em, if you like high-low, you will just simply have fun doing that without even having the casino. So it added extra layers to the game without even needing to start a casino. And I think to start a casino, I think is so much more realistic than starting a spy agency, if that makes sense. Because for example, starting a casino isn't a job. Playing at a casino isn't a job. You know what I mean? It's like secret agent's a job. Black market isn't a job. Cult isn't really a job. Zoo is a job. It's like they should have been job packs. And that's the part that kind of bugs me. But casino has been so much fun. And I feel like I don't necessarily need to get in too much detail about the casino one because I have so many videos that have come out. And I feel like a lot of you have already come into knowing what the casino is about. But I love that you can buy a casino. I love that you can upgrade it. I love that you can interact with the gamblers. You can offer them drinks. You can encourage them to gamble. You can bribe them. You can buy them gifts. The fact that there's literally a mafia member that is a part of it is fucking hilarious. Like, it's actually hilarious. I just wish you could bet more money. Like, they should have made it that you can literally bet a zillion if you want, because that's so hilarious. That's such a meme that you make $1 zillion on the stock market and then you're able to just like gamble it in roulette. Like, that would be so iconic. You should be able to gamble more than 10 million. Like, I will die on that hill. And if they made it that you could gamble that $1 zillion you made from crypto Dogecoin, I would put it in fucking God mode. I would have put it there, but I can't. But yeah, I've had so much fun with the casino. I like that it has added a new element to the game of flipping almost. And I've showed that with like my sports betting video, how you can literally have $10 now. And with the gambling methods, you can have almost guaranteed certainty of making more money with sports betting. With the high-low, with blackjack, roulette, it's all RNG. Slots is the worst of them, but I just like the fact that you can. If I want to sit there and hit the slot machine 400 times, nobody can stop me. My favorite part about the casino ultimately is the mini games and the interactions with the customers. I love it. I love that they make it so that you have to follow a theme in order to have it be successful. The only thing that kind of bugs me about it, like I said, is I wish you could bet more money. But I really think they nailed it, honestly. I really do. I think the casino was their first one that made the game more realistic in the way of blackjack isn't the only way to gamble, right? And added a new element to it where it's like, yo, like I can start a casino. I can like encourage other people to gamble. Like what? Like it isn't really about making money. It's about the experience. Follow the theme, hire a celebrity entertainer, have a drag show artist, a comedian, have a bar and nightclub amenities that are themed with anime. Like it really just added a new part to the game where it's just not about money and having a job. It's about an experience. So I think that's why I really, really like the casino. I just think if they allowed you to put way more money on the line, I would put it to God mode. But because of that, I will not. But here we have, I think I'm really happy with these final rankings. Let me zoom in even a bit more for you guys. So personally, I have, for NPC behavior, my least favorite expansion pack is the Zoo expansion pack. Then not too big of a fan. Could have been a lot better is Cult. Then we have At Least They Tried is the Black Market, then Secret Agent. And then I have It's Giving as Landlord, and then Casino above that. And then finally the Stock Market update, because it literally changed the entirety of how you play the game in BitLife. Stock Market expansion pack. So that is my ranking. I would love to know what you guys would rank all of these in the comments. I don't have this as a public tier maker. I just made this myself because it didn't exist. But please in the comments, put God mode and put the one that's God mode. Put It's Giving, put the ones you think are It's Giving, put At Least They Tried, put the ones that you think. And I would love to chat with you guys about it, to hear your personal thoughts. But yeah, I'm excited. Also, let me know if you want to see a job pack version of this, a BitLife Marketplace version of this. I would love to do that because personally, I also like kind of getting these thoughts out and knowing what I truly feel. And it really puts it into perspective for me as well, how in the moment things can be so exciting, but then looking back over time, you start to think differently. So yeah, that was a mouthful, but I really enjoyed this video. So I hope you guys enjoy too. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.